If you are a Swiftie and you want to learn more about football, this video is for you. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Adam. I host a football podcast called Fouled Out, and I recently just launched this YouTube channel to share the video version of that podcast. So don't leave me with a blank space down below. Like this video and subscribe to the channel if you dig this content and you want me to make more videos like this. I have a lot of people in my life who are trying to get into football this year, including my wife and my sister, and a couple of friends who want to learn a little bit more about the sport. So I wanted to make a quick video to go over some of the basics. My marketing optimization manager, or mom, also thought it would be a good idea to drop this video now and have a little bit of a Taylor Swift hook to it, due to Taylor's recent appearance on the New Heights podcast with her boyfriend, Travis Kelce, that was watched by something like 1 billion people or viewed 1 billion times. I don't know if we'll get that many views on this video, but we're going to do our best. So with that said, welcome to, ready for it? Football Basics, Swifties version. It is almost fall, and that means that football is about to come back stronger than a 90s trend, making this the perfect time to learn more about the sport and how to watch it. In this video, we're going to tackle 4 major topics. We're going to talk about positions on a football field, basic rules, the game flow, and how to watch and enjoy football. Before we can talk about what's going on in the game, we need to understand who the people on the field are, and we're going to talk about that in our first category, positions. If anybody from the NFL is watching this, I am teaching here, so all of the screenshots and the highlights that you're going to see in this video are protected under fair use, and you cannot take this video down. Everyone on the field has a position they play and a job that they are responsible for. It's kind of like a concert where you have the lead singer, backup dancers, and maybe some people playing instruments like a guitarist and a drummer. If everybody does their job and handles their own responsibilities, we're going to have a good show. Very basically, we have 2 sides of the football, the offense and the defense. The offense's job is to score points. On offense, we have the quarterback. They are the mastermind in charge of running the offense and the most important player on the field. Our wide receivers, who catch the ball when the quarterback throws it, or hopefully catch it. It doesn't always go according to plan. We have the offensive line. Their job is to stay in front of the quarterback and make sure the defense doesn't get to him. They also block for the running back or halfback, whose job is to run the football. I think that one was a little bit of a stretch, but I'm going to leave it in there. Their job is to run the football and sometimes block for their good friend, the quarterback. And finally, we have the tight end. This is where Taylor's boo, Travis Kelce, plays. They are sort of a combo wide receiver and offensive lineman. Sometimes they line up out wide and catch passes from the quarterback, and sometimes they stay in and help the offensive line do their job and block guys on the defense. And yes, Travis Kelce is one of the best ever to play this position. Don't let anybody tell you different just because they don't like the Kansas City Chiefs. The other side of the ball is the defense, and these are the anti-heroes of football. I like that song. Their job is to stop the offense from scoring points, very basically. And they are divided into 3 different groups. We have the defensive line, the linebackers, and the defensive backs. We could get a lot more technical here, but I'll spare you the details. Just know that they do not want your offense scoring points. Now that we know the peeps on the football field, let's talk about how the game works in our basics. A football game is divided into 2 eras that we call halves, and those halves are further divided into 2 eras called quarters. So football games made up of 4 total quarters. The 2 halves are separated by halftime, which is where the players get a little bit of a break, and sometimes there's a halftime show, like the one that Taylor's probably going to be playing at the Super Bowl this year. I've heard some rumors. You guys tell me. Each quarter is 15 minutes long, meaning we have a total game time of 60 minutes. It's important to understand that a NFL minute is not a real world minute. So when I say there's 5 minutes left in the game and 15 minutes later, my wife asks me if the game's over and I say there's 1 minute left still, that is a very real thing. An NFL field is 120 yards long and has an area at each end called an end zone, which is going to be extremely important in a little bit. The end zones also have these big yellow posts in them called goalposts, also extremely important. And our end zones are separated by 100 yards of playing field where the game takes place. So why are the end zones so important? Well, remember when we said the offense's job is to score points? There are two ways that they can do so. The first is a touchdown, and that is when any player runs the ball into the end zone or catches the ball in the end zone. That's worth 6 points, and that is our love story ending. You can also score by a field goal, which is when the kicker, who's this little guy here, kicks the ball between the yellow uprights or goalpost. That is worth 3 points. It's not as magical, but we still consider that a win for the offense. If you score a touchdown, your kicker can come out and kick what is called a point after touchdown, where he's going to kick a field goal from a designated spot on the field, and that's going to be worth 1 point. Alternatively, you can bring your offense back out and try to score a second touchdown, which is only going to be worth 2 points. So a touchdown can really be worth anywhere from 6 to 8 points. Whichever team has the most points at the end of the fourth era wins the game. But if we are tied when the 60 minutes of game time is up, we're going to go to overtime. This is like adding a surprise song to the set list. You didn't expect it, but it does kind of make the night unforgettable. Our next section is going to be the game flow. At the beginning of every game, the referee, the guy who's in charge of enforcing the rules, is going to flip a coin and decide which team gets the ball first. Very important note as a football fan, no matter what team you root for, we do not like the referees. They are basically the John Mayer of the football world. One team's kicker will kick the ball to the other team, and that's going to determine where the other team's offense is going to start. Now, this is often the most confusing part about learning football. I've heard from my wife that this is the thing she has the hardest time understanding. So bear with me here, but wherever our offense starts with the ball, that is going to be called the line of scrimmage, and that is illustrated by this blue line here that the broadcast projects on the screen so that you can tell where the ball is. The offense has 4 tries to gain 10 yards, and these tries are called downs. So when you see that it's 1st and 10, that means they're on their first try and they still have 10 yards to go until they get another first down. Once they get past this yellow line, they want to go as far as they can or get as close to the end zone as they can, because wherever they get stopped after that yellow line is where their next first down is going to start. And that'll give them first down, 10 yards to go again. Here's another screenshot where we see this team has a 3rd and 5. This means that they've gained 5 yards on their first 2 tries. So 1st and 2nd down, the plays have combined for 5 yards so far. They are now on their 3rd try with 5 more yards left to gain until they get another first try or first down. If you don't pass the yellow line in 4 tries, the other team gets the ball. So think of this like Taylor re-recording her albums. You get 4 chances to nail it before the other team takes control. And if you get to your 4th try and you're afraid that you can't get past the yellow line, you have the option to do what's called a punt, where you have this punter come out on the field and kick the ball as far as he can. And wherever the other team's catcher or returner catches the ball, or they'll catch it and they'll run it back as far as they can, that is where the other team's offense starts. In order to gain yards, the offense runs what's called a play. These are like choreographed dances where everyone has a certain job and a certain spot on the field they have to be at a certain time. There are 2 basic types of plays, a pass and a run. The first video we're going to see here is a pass. This is where the quarterback throws the ball, either to a wide receiver, tight end, or sometimes their running back. The second play is a run, and that is where the running back or the quarterback sometimes will take the ball and run with it as far as they can, basically. You can also fake a run and throw the ball, or you can fake a throw and run the ball, but the run and the throw are the 2 basic types of plays. The offense is also trying to avoid what's called a turnover, and there are 2 basic types of turnovers. There's an interception, which is when your quarterback throws the ball and the other team catches it, or a fumble, which is when one of the players on the offense is running with the ball and drops it or loses it. If the other team picks it up off the ground, they get the ball. If you intercept the ball or recover a fumble, you can run it back as far as you can before you get tackled. And that is where your offense starts with their 1st and 10 or their first try to gain 10 yards. If the offense does score a touchdown or a field goal, then the offense's kicker will come out onto the field after the touchdown is scored, and they will kick the ball to the other team, and the other team will start with 1st and 10 wherever they recover the kick. So you kind of see how it's a cycle of we start, we try to go score, the other team gets the ball, they try to go score. We go back and forth like that until 60 minutes is up and we've determined a winner. Our final category is how to watch football. Now that you know the basics of football all too well, there are only a few things left to do, and that is watch some games and pick who your favorite team's going to be. Maybe you're a reputation kind of fan and you want to go for the gritty, tough teams, or maybe you're fearless and you want to pick an underdog, or maybe you really like this video and you want to root for my favorite team, the 6-time Super Bowl champion New England Patriots. You can really pick whoever you want, but there is one very important thing after you pick your team, and that is loyalty. No matter who you pick, that is your team through the good times and the bad times. You are stuck with them forever. Thank you guys for watching this video. I really hope it helps you wherever you are on your football watching journey, whether you're a brand new fan or maybe you're someone who's been watching for a couple of years who's just trying to learn more about the game. I've been watching football for probably 25 years now. It's my favorite sport, and being a football fan is something I really enjoy, so I wanted to share that with all of you. If you have any questions that this video didn't answer, you can feel free to reach out to me at our podcast email, fouledoutsports@gmail.com. And remember that if you are trying to get into football this season, you belong with me. Hit like and subscribe to this video in this channel, and keep up with Fouled Out Sports on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Cast, Overcast. You can watch our videos on YouTube. We drop episodes every week during the football season, talking about what's going on, what we think is going to happen, going over the interesting storylines. Probably talk a little bit more about Taylor this season for those of you that are into that. But for now, I have to end this video the way that I end every episode of the podcast. So bye, guys. Bye, Mom.